Hello, Lead STEM Academy parents. Welcome to our November edition of Cast Off with the Counselors. This is our third cast off for the school year. If this is your first time viewing, welcome. This is our monthly information session where we share important information for you about our department, about the school, about what's going on in the classrooms, um, things that we want you to be aware of. My name is Todd Sear. I'm the seventh grade counselor, and we're going to get started. So, this month I'm going to talk to you about NAV time. I'm going to explain how students can sign up for NAV times. Um, I'm going to tell you the best way to check your students' grades because sometimes there is some confusion. And yes, that comes from the students. So I'm going to try to clear that up for you. I'm going to remind you that we're coming towards the end of semester one and what that means, and transcripts and grade reports and all that fun stuff. Um, we're going to ask for your help um, keeping our campus clean. So I'm going to address that with you, our campus pride. Then I'm going to explain the STEM tank process. We are hot and heavy in the middle of STEM tank right now. Your students are working really hard, hopefully, on their STEM tank projects. And then we always finish off with dates to remember. And I've got one date for November, but the bulk of my dates take us into December. So let's start with NAV time. Okay, so NAV time is unique to our school. I know there are other schools that are copying us. Looking at you, Cadwallader. Um, but anyway, what it is it's a half an hour period during the students' lunchtime where they can participate in a fun activity. It's meant to be fun. It's meant to be a break. It's meant to be non-academic for the most part. Um, so, the long and short of it is our lunch periods at Lead are 1 hour long. So students get a half an hour for their NAV time and a half an hour for their lunch time. All right. So what does that, how does that work? So from 11:25 to 12:25 every day on a normal schedule, the students are in lunch and NAV time. Now, how it works is they're supposed to have one lunch period and one NAV time. Okay. So they can go to NAV time and then lunch, or they go to lunch and then NAV time. They are not allowed to take two lunches. And we know it happens. Um, but that's a big no no. Now, technically, they're not supposed to choose two NAV times, but your child may be participating in two NAV times because they've some kind of arrangement with the teacher. That's fine. Um, they're supposed to take that half hour for lunch, which the district it mandates a half an hour for all students for lunch, and then they get that half hour break. All right. How do they sign up for NAV times? There's a 5-star app that is used for students to choose their NAV times. It is on every student's Chromebook. Some students have downloaded it onto their phones, and that's great. But that's where they choose their NAV time. So they log into the 5-star app, and then they can pick their NAV times. NAV times are supposed to be chosen prior to lunch. Okay. Traditionally, we used to have students choose their NAV times on Sunday nights, and they would choose their NAV times for the whole week. That's not mandated anymore. It is recommended. We just don't want them coming in on Friday. For instance, today is Friday, the 15th of November. That's when I'm recording this. We don't want them coming in on Friday and not having a NAV time chosen. Okay. Now, generally, the school does NAV time checks during the first period of the day, whether that's period one or period two, depending on our schedule, if it's not our even day. Often a list is emailed out to the staff. The following students have not chosen NAV times. If they're in your first or second period, please have them choose a NAV time. That's a headache to manage, obviously. It is an expectation here at Lead that students choose their NAV times. NAV time is a privilege. It's not something, as I said, it's not something that's offered at all schools. It makes us unique. So we want students to take advantage of that time. We want them to pick an activity. If they don't choose an activity, then they go to first lunch, and then they're sent to the hub, which is our library. And I mean, that's a waste of time. So please encourage your children to choose their nap times. Have them open up their Chromebook, have them go to the 5 Star app and show you, what nap times they've chosen. Okay. Now, there are makeup work nav times that some teachers offer. It's not mandated. It used to be mandated. It's not mandated by our administrators. But many teachers have gotten in the habit of offering makeup work nav time during the week. Let's say it's on a Wednesday or it's on a Tuesday or Monday. Um, if your child is struggling in a particular class and the teacher offers that nav time, encourage them to sign up for that makeup work nav time. And if they have questions or you have questions, we, the counselors, we can help with that. Okay. Most teachers have posted when their nav times are offered on their Canvas pages. And I'll get to Canvas later. But, just ask your kiddo, hey, when does Mr. Salzman offer makeup work nav times? They should know. Okay. All right, let's talk about grades. So we are halfway through Q2, which also means we're halfway through semester 1. And you may not know exactly where to find your students' grades. So let me break it down. Okay. There are 2 systems in place that touch upon grades and classwork. They are Infinite Campus and Canvas. Infinite Campus is meant for grade checking. Okay. So that's where you're going to find the most accurate grades. Most of the time, students' grades are updated in real time on Infinite Campus. Most of the time. I know sometimes that's not the case. But, that's where you should find the most updated grades. If you sign up for alerts on Infinite Campus, let's say you have it on your phone, like I do, you'll get alerts when your child has a missing assignment, when your child gets a new graded assignment, if your child is in danger of failing or has a D, you'll get notices from Infinite Campus, like push notifications on your phone. And you can also look on Infinite Campus for teachers' notes about, this was a makeup assignment, they did not earn a higher grade, whatever, come see me to redo this assignment. You're going to find those kinds of notes in Infinite Campus. Now, that's different than Canvas. Okay? Canvas is not meant for grades. Canvas is the system by which teachers deliver their material. That's the long and short of it. All right? Now, often students will say, well, I looked on Canvas and I don't see my grade for XYZ. Yeah, well, that's because Canvas is not meant for checking grades. Okay? So there may be grades on Canvas, but they're not as accurate. And basically, Infinite Campus and Canvas, they don't always talk to each other. All right? So if you want to see your child's grades and your child is sending you to teachers' Canvas pages, tell them, no, I want to go to Infinite Campus. Okay? We parents, we don't always have access to Canvas. We can be invited to be observers by our students, or we can have them log into their teacher's Canvas page and we can look over their shoulders. Okay? That's how we can see Canvas. So it's really up to you. And if you want to be invited as an observer, have your kiddo send you an invite or have your kiddo talk to the teacher. The advantage to being an observer on Canvas is you get real-time updates. Miss Wilhite posted a new assignment and you'll get a message on your phone, a push message. What you're also going to find on Canvas is copies of class materials, like I said earlier. So some teachers actually record their lessons. So you can find the videos of those recordings. You can find those videos on the Canvas page. You can also find copies of notes for class, class notes. You can also find assignments. Okay? So that's the difference between Infinite Campus and Canvas. So here's the really basic breakdown. Infinite Campus is meant for viewing students' grades and missing assignments. Canvas is for copies of assignments, notes, videos, and teachers' contact information. Okay. All parents are given an Infinite Campus account. All parents are not given a Canvas account. Okay. So again, if you ask to see your child's grades and they're taking you to their teacher's Canvas pages, tell them, nope, I want to see them on Infinite Campus. So we, the counselors, we recommend that you keep track of grades through Infinite Campus, not Canvas. Okay? And if you have any questions, just contact us. We are not Canvas experts. We're not Infinite Campus experts, honestly. But, we, the counselors, we have our own Canvas pages, so we can kind of explain that. All right. As I said earlier, we are approaching the end of semester one. So here's the breakdown. Quarter one is over. Quarter one ran from August 12th, which was the first day of school, to the 11th of October. Okay, over and done. We're in the middle of quarter two right now. It started on the 14th of October, and it ends on the 20th of December. And the 20th of December is the day before we go on winter break. That's a Friday. So that's the last day of quarter two, and it's also the last day of semester one. All right. So how are semester grades compiled? Well, the very basic breakdown is a teacher takes a quarter one grade, adds the quarter two grade, adds them together, divide by 2. That's how you get the semester grade. Teacher doesn't do it. Infinite Campus does it. But anyway, that's a very basic explanation. It's more complicated than that, but to give you an idea of where that semester grade comes from. So you don't see quarter grades on a student's transcript. You see semester grades on a student's transcript. Okay? And that's important. That's important because a student may get a poor grade quarter one and then improve quarter two. And then for the semester one grade, looks very different than what quarter one was. There's quarter one might have been a D, quarter two could be an A, right? And then semester one could be a C or maybe a low B, depending. Very different than our quarter one grade, but that's the one that sticks. That's the one that counts, the semester grade. And if you have a child who's in a high school credit course, such as Algebra 1 or Spanish 1 or 2 or Geometry, or the Computer Science and Applications course for 8th graders, that's really important, okay? Because that grade shows up on the high school transcript. All right? Now, when does semester 2 start? Well, it starts on the 6th of January. That's when we come back from winter break. Okay? And that'll be the start of quarter 3. All right? And then we go from quarter 3 to quarter 4, and those two make up our second semester, which ends in May. I do want to point out that each semester is a fresh start for the students. So semester 1 grades do not carry over into semester 2. Right? Quarter 1 grades do carry over into quarter 2, but quarter 2 grades do not carry over into quarter 3. Fresh start, which for some students that's an excellent thing. Okay. We really need your help. We ask for your help every year. It's about trash. I'm going to be honest. It's about trash. So let's talk about lunch. We have some rules this year, some new rules that have not been in place at LEAD for quite a while, and it's not so great. Okay. So first of all, students are not allowed to bring food in the quad. They cannot take their lunch from the cafeteria, their hot lunch, and bring it out into the quad and eat. Now, there is an exception if they bring their own lunches from home, like in a lunch box or a brown bag or whatever. Yeah, they can eat in the quad, but they're not supposed to take their hot lunch or the items that they bought at the student store and bring them out in the quad. Why? Because at the beginning of the year, the quad was disgusting. Messy, messy, messy. And when I tell you that trash was left next to the can, I'm not exaggerating. Trash was left next to the trash can. Okay? And so Mr. Thorson, the principal, said, enough's enough. We can't trust these kids to clean up the quad, so we're not going to allow them to bring food. It stinks. I'm going to be honest. It stinks because we, the counselors, have to stop students when we're out there for lunch duty. We have to stop them from going outside with their food, and it's no fun. In addition, the new rule that's put in place this year is students must be dismissed from their lunch table. What does that sound like? Sounds like elementary school. Okay. They have to raise their hand and be given permission to leave the cafeteria. Do they all do it? No, they don't. They're middle schoolers. They sneak out, they ignore, it happens. But that's the rule. And the administrators are monitoring the tables, you know. And if the kiddos have a huge mess in front of them and they ask to be dismissed, they're told you got to clean that up. All right. All of this is to try to make the campus look nicer because, as I said at the beginning of the year, it was gross. And there was no pride. Well, I don't want to say there's no pride. That's not fair. But there was lacking. There was pride lacking. Let's put it that way. And it was obvious with all the trash that was found. And there still is trash. Let's be honest. These are middle schoolers, so they make messes. We try to instill the lead way and ask your kiddos what that means, the lead way. And part of the lead way is you take care of the area where you're eating. And sometimes we ask them to clean up areas other than their own. And the reason for that is because we all want a clean cafeteria. And we know, middle schoolers are really big on that's not fair. I didn't make that mess. I shouldn't have to clean it up. Sometimes we ask them to, just because it takes a village, right? It takes all of us to keep that cafeteria and quad area clean. And sometimes that means you have to pick up trash that doesn't belong to you. We as adults, we know that's the case. So, we need your help. We need you to talk to your kiddos about having a clean campus because we all deserve it. We all deserve a clean campus. Okay. So, again, if you can remind your students that they're expected to follow the lead way at lunchtime, maybe we can get this campus looking much nicer than it is now. And that would be nice for everybody. Okay. Let's talk about STEM Tank because we're hot and heavy in the middle of STEM Tank. So what is it? What's STEM Tank? For those of you that don't know, it's basically a science fair. Okay. That's what STEM Tank is. The kiddos have been working on it pretty much all semester. And they're going to present their projects on Tuesday, the 17th of December, and Wednesday, the 18th of December. We call those are STEM Tank days. And I'll get to the schedule in a minute. Where are they presenting their STEM Tank projects? All over campus. All over campus. So your student is in an advisory class with a specific teacher. All right. And they've been with that teacher since the beginning of the school year. That's where they're working on their STEM Tank projects is in advisory. I mean, they are working on them in other classes, but they're finishing them up, finalizing them in their advisory class. And that's where they're going to present them. So wherever their teacher has, wherever your kiddo has advisory, that's most likely where they're going to be presenting their STEM Tank projects. Okay, so here's a basic breakdown of the process. They were given a theme, and I'm going to share the theme with you momentarily. And they're developing products related to that theme. So the bottom line is they're coming up with a product, an item. Okay. They were placed into groups in their advisory classes weeks ago. Okay. And they may be complaining to you right now about their groups. I'll address that in a minute. But this is a group project. Okay. Always has been, always will be. So they're working in these groups. They're working with their classmates to come up with something fantastic. Okay. So the presentations are going to take place, as I said, on Tuesday, December 17th, Wednesday, December 18th, the last week before we go on winter break. Okay. Now, how the judging works is we're going to have panels of professionals, adults, working in the various fields that are going to be judging them. Okay. The kiddos have a copy of the rubric that's going to be used to judge the presentations, and they're going to get a certain score. All right. And the scores are going to be tabulated And for each grade level, 3 groups will be selected as finalists. All right. And those finalists will be announced on Thursday, the 19th of December, which is the second to last day before we go on winter break. And it'll be in the form of a video presentation sent to all the classrooms. All right. Um, the specific STEM Tank Day bell schedule is coming. It's not out yet, but it's coming. So, what's the theme for semester one? It's natural disaster mitigation. So, you can read it. I'm not going to insult your intelligence by reading it to you, but there we go. So, their focus is on what can we do to help our community during a natural disaster? Can we prevent it? Can we help with cleanup? Can we help with people recovering afterwards? These are some of the things, some of the topics that they're addressing in their projects. Okay, so here's a very basic understanding of the STEM Tank schedule. So on Tuesday, the 17th of December, our campus will be open to the public from 1:30 to 3. All right. And so at that time, you are encouraged to come on campus and check out your child's presentations and your neighbors' presentations and your nephews and nieces' presentations and your grandchildren's presentations, any presentations. But the campus is open to the public. So you come on in and you pop around, you go to the different hallways and you take in the projects and you see all the wonderful things that our students are creating. So that's on Tuesday. Campus is open in the afternoon. On Wednesday, same thing, but the campus is open in the morning. So at 8:15, the gates open. Students are in their advisory classes, and you're encouraged to come. Okay? Bring your neighbors, bring your high school, college kiddos, bring your sports teams, bring your church groups. The more the merrier. Okay? Students really, believe it or not, students really love to show off what they've done. Okay? That's what we're building towards here at LEAD. All right? So, yeah, we want you to come. We want you to come to campus on STEM Tank days, and we want you to check out the presentations. If you can only make it for, an hour or so, so be it. At least you were here. At least your kiddo saw you. Okay? Again, further information will be coming when we get to December, but that's a basic understanding of STEM Tank. All right. Dates to remember. So we're nearing the end here. All right. Wednesday, the 27th of November through Friday, the 29th of November. That's Thanksgiving break. Okay. So 2 weeks from now, we only have 2 days of school, Monday and Tuesday. All right. And then we've got those 3 days for Thanksgiving break, holiday, family day, they call it. All right. All right. Moving into December. All right. Several concerts are coming up within our performing arts. Actually, our performing arts are very busy in the month of December. So, on the 3rd of December is the winter guitar concert. If your child is in a guitar class, you're going to want to attend. Starts at 6 in the gym. All right. Wednesday, the 4th of December, and Thursday, the 5th of December, that's when our advanced drama students with Miss Rios are going to present Once Upon a Story Time. Okay, that's the big production that they've been working on all semester. All right, the play takes place in the Hub. It starts at 6 p.m. and I've got a link there where you can purchase tickets, and you definitely want to attend because they do a fantastic job. Thursday, the 5th of December, is also the choir concert for winter. So if you got a kiddo in choir, you're going to want to attend 6 p.m. in the gym on the 5th of December. Monday, the 9th of December, that's the band's turn to perform their winter concert. Again, 6 p.m. in the gym. By the way, all of these events are free. And then orchestra has their winter concert on the 10th of December, which is Tuesday. Okay, and again, 6 p.m. in the gym. All right, Winterfest. I gave this event its own page because it's a big, big deal here at LEAD. So it's our yearly winter celebration. There's games, there's food, there's prizes, family fun, music. Yeah, the whole bit. When is that happening? On Wednesday, the 11th of December, from 5 o'clock to 8 p.m. Okay, it takes place out in the quad or the courtyard. All right, and there's going to be all kinds of activities going on. It's free to get in. All right, but each event that you participate in or your child participates in, it's going to cost a certain amount of tickets. So they can buy tickets at the door, and then they can spend those tickets on the different events. Okay, there is more information coming. um, I believe it's going to be sent directly to parents by the administrators. So that's Winterfest. Keep an eye out for that. It's a lot of fun. All right, we want to thank you for watching our November cast off with the counselors. Have a wonderful, wonderful Thanksgiving break. We are the Student Support Services Department. So we are the three counselors. Miss Cloud is the sixth grade counselor. I am the seventh grade counselor. Miss Murray is our eighth grade counselor. And a very important part of our department is Dr. Hernandez, our school social worker. Um, so the four of us make up the Student Support Services Department at LEAD. Best way to get a hold of us is email, and there is our email uh, information at the bottom. All right, we are going to try to have another Q&A. We haven't had much success with these so far this year, but hopefully November's the month. So on Tuesday, the 26th of November, so 2 weeks from me recording this, the last day before we go on Thanksgiving break, 9:30 a.m., we are going to have a Google Meet. All right. And in that Google Meet, we will answer your questions. We will address anything that wasn't clear through this presentation. Um, and we'll see your friendly smiling faces. So if you'd like to join us, okay, you click this link. It takes you to a Google form. You fill out that Google form, and then you will get an invite to the Google Meet. It'll come through email. All right. The morning of the 26th, you click on that link and you join us for the Google Meet. I do want to say right off the bat, we cannot address individual concerns as that is a privacy issue. But if you have general questions, please, please come. We'd love to see you. Okay. And we do that after every cast off with the counselors. All right. So I am done. Hope you have a wonderful Thanksgiving holiday break. Hope you get to relax with your kiddos. And we will talk to you again in December.